Next up, Jordan Silvia, Highland Avenue.
Good evening, everybody. So I'm going to flip it up a little bit. Remember, this is the very school committee that recently, months ago, wanted a 200% pay increase. Remember that. How many people paid attention to that? I feel bad for the parents who aren't used to this environment where you come here. First off, the citizens input portion shouldn't be, we speak at the wall, you guys stand stoically looking at us, and then everything moves on. It should be a discussion. You should be answering all these people's concerns, but you won't. I understand. I'm very well versed in the format. Closing Tansey, I feel bad for these people. It's only a symptom of the real problem in Fall River. It's the entire school system that we have. People are only upset because, A, these people actually monitor what happens with their kids' education because where the school's located. They're my neighbors. You guys are my neighbors. I don't send my kids to the schools in Fall River because I've had this conversation. I don't feel the education's proper in any of the schools. That's a much longer discussion. But yeah, we just had an election. Did any of these people run on closing the best performing school in Fall River was a good idea? Would any of them still have this job today? No, we all know that. It's not the case. But they don't care what you think. That's not how this really goes, guys. It's literally the worst decision they could possibly make, most ignorant decision, so that's probably what they'll do. But what concerns me is the solutions I've heard proposed so far are to grow the Fall River public school system by, well, we're going to move toilets around pre-K in every school, by Conley. Guys, we need these people not involved in the education of your kids. That's the real talk. So I may offend people, but that's the reality. They shouldn't be involved in your kids' education at all. My kids learn at home on an online school. So they're upset with that because they don't get the money reimbursed from the state that all your kids get them that funds every year. But they're going to scapegoat Maura Healey and say, oh, it's the governor. Everyone talked about COVID, right? Charlie Baker didn't shut down the schools and the entire city of Fall River. The chairman of the school committee did, Paul Coogan. He's the mayor. Maura Healey doesn't run the city of Fall River. So don't let them say it's Maura Healey. It's Paul Coogan and these other people are going to do it, right? Again, the core problem is we spend $77 million more every year in education in Fall River. Guess what we've gotten? Worse results. Our kids score worse on tests. After $77 million we spend every year, more than we did 5 years ago. I was told that's not the case, and that is true. It's more than I thought, actually. So that's the real problem. Get your kids away from these people. My kids learn online. It's about money, guys. That's the other thing. It's always come down to money. We need more. Here's a solution that actually works. School choice. Again, get your kids out of the schools, send them to online schools, send them to charter schools. I've been talking about subsidizing the schools, right? So Conley just closed because no one could pay to send a kid to Conley. If we spent half the money that we do when we sending our kids to Durfee and all these other schools, they get better outcomes. I will say this, I'm very proud, days like today, I'm very proud to be from Fall River when people get pissed off and show up at these things.
Thank you.
One last criticism of all the people here. Don't ask, I see a lot of people asking them, please consider this. That's not how this thing works. You tell them, if they don't like it, don't wait 2 years.
Could you be a little respectful? Could you be respectful, please? Yeah, thank you.
That's what they have to complain about.
Yeah, no, I know.
People like you. Thank you.
Sit down, thank you. Thank you for your efforts.